What does it mean for you as an Amazon seller that Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States? Trump is proposing tariffs as high as 60%, and if that happens, it will fundamentally change how we sell on Amazon. So in this video, I'll break down exactly what's going on, how likely these changes are, and most importantly, the steps you can take right now to protect your business. And specifically, I'll talk about tariff exemptions, HTS code strategies, US manufacturing, and alternative sourcing strategies, and all of this in 5 minutes. Now, before we talk about how we can protect our business, we have to understand why these tariffs are happening and how likely they are to be implemented. So Trump argues that other countries impose high tariffs on US goods while their exports to the US face lower or no tariffs. He believes this imbalance leads to the decline of American manufacturing, and by imposing higher tariffs, the goal is to pressure foreign governments to renegotiate trade agreements that are more favorable for US businesses. So his core proposal is tariffs up to 100% on goods from China and a universal tariff of up to 20% on imports from all other countries. This would include goods from Mexico, Vietnam, India, and more. And if that's gonna happen, it would mean higher costs for us as sellers and eventually higher prices for consumers as well. So we have to ask ourselves, how likely is it to happen that we have these higher tariffs? So I think, and please feel free to share your opinion down below in the comment section, it's unlikely that the small everyday items that we are selling on Amazon are being hit with such high tariffs. It wouldn't make sense, in my opinion, for someone to run a campaign to lower inflation and then raise the cost of basic goods basically overnight. Instead, if we see tariffs, they are likely to target bigger industries like the car industry, steel, or other high-value items, and not the smaller goods that dominate platforms like Amazon. At the end of the day, this could just be a negotiation tactic, a way to show strength and push for better deals without actually implementing massive changes that would disrupt the economy. Additionally, tariffs need approval from Congress, and historically such big changes face a strong opposition. So while the changes won't happen overnight and as drastically, we as business owners need to be prepared for the case that these changes become reality. So what can we do right now? Here are 4 strategies that you can use to protect your business. First, apply for tariff exemptions. Even if tariffs are implemented, not all products will be affected equally. The US government allows businesses to apply for exemptions if there's no viable domestic alternative for your product, or the tariff would cause disproportionate harm to your business or industry. For example, during previous tariff rounds, products used in healthcare or education were often granted exemptions. How can you apply for them? Monitor announcements from US Customs and Border Protection for exemption opportunities, or work with specialists like Tradewin to navigate the application process. And while that process is time consuming, it's definitely worth to explore because of the potential savings, right? And the next point is optimize HTS codes. Every imported product has an HTS code which determines its duty rate, and the same product can sometimes fall under multiple HTS codes, each with a different tariff rate. So you could try to find out if it's possible to classify your product under a more favorable HTS code, and that could significantly save you money. So how does it work? You can identify alternative classifications either by doing your own research or by working with a custom broker or trade consultant. And furthermore, I always recommend to apply for a binding ruling with US Customs to confirm the correct code for your product anyways. This strategy also requires some effort, but it's worth to check it out. It can save you thousands as well, and it's not too much effort, I believe. Let's move on to the next step, and that is to find US-based manufacturing. So mostly up until today, it wasn't worth it to source your product in the US because you wouldn't be able to offer them on Amazon for a competitive price. But now with the new tariffs that might come additionally, plus the reduced shipping fees, plus faster lead times, plus made in the USA that you can use for your branding, it could make it a valid option. I'm a fan of diversifying suppliers anyway, so what I suggest you do is search for premium products in your niche and source them in the US. For example, you can find suppliers that do private label on thomasnet.com, and I'm saying premium products because the cheaper products you are not able to source them in the US for a competitive price. So we want to focus on the premium products. Go check out thomasnet.com, maybe you find some, and then you diversify your portfolio of suppliers already, and that is never a bad thing. And now when we are talking about diversification of suppliers already, we can talk about my last tip, and that is sourcing from other countries than China. As we heard, the tariffs for the other countries won't be as high, so it will be an advantage if you have your supplier in Vietnam, in Mexico, in India, wherever. And how to get started is pretty straightforward. You can find potential suppliers in other countries using ChatGPT or hire a sourcing agent on platforms like Fiverr or Upwork. So overall, we have to admit that we don't know exactly what's going to happen, how high tariffs will be, if there will be tariffs, but I can tell you that I'm going to monitor the situation closely, and I update you here on my channel. If you don't want to miss that, subscribe to the channel. And by the way, I still have that offer in place that if you sign up to Helium 10 with the link in the video description, then you get a one-on-one coaching with me for free, in which we can improve your PPC campaigns, verify your product, whatever it is. In order to get the one-on-one call, just sign up and then send me an email. That is also down below in the video description. Subscribe to the channel and I see you in the next video.